So let's talk a little bit about vintage and fixing some dings and dents and using a little bit of science and a little bit of craftsmanship and a little bit of time, and I'll get you there. So this video, you guys, is in response to the Elvis card that I posted initially on Wednesday Night Live, and then the before and after pictures today. And I've been really working hard behind the scenes on how to develop some cool techniques for vintage, and I came up with a couple good ones, and I want to show them to you guys tonight. So, like, for this card, for example, I shared with you guys on Wednesday Night Live that I was gonna put it in the humidor and use some humidity to help try to relieve some of these stress lines that were really just like going through Elvis's hair. If you haven't seen it, I got it posted. Check it out. But they were pretty severe, and the corner had a pretty big line, kind of just a blemish, whatever, and the surface too. I find that those are typically the common issues that I'll see with vintage cards. Since they don't have a shiny clear coat like today's modern era stuff, they of course can have wear and tear, and if they're missing paint or the corners are messed up or whatever that are just blown out, there's not a lot you can do. But a common thing that I'll see on a lot of vintage cards or even modern day paper cards is dings and dents. And the thing is, you can't use, even though my corner tool is awesome for like fixing an edge or a corner, when we're talking mid-surface card stuff, you don't want to push it down and create a valley. You want to raise it up. So if you guys are familiar with my demonstrations and talks about using humidity or the right atmosphere, it's really crucial because I try to do everything naturally. It's like if you have a dent or a ding on a card, you don't want to smash the heck out of it. You know what I mean? You want to be able to get that dent out. So like, for example, I'm going to show you guys a couple things tonight, but like we'll do a modern era card, because when you see the front, you'd be like, that ain't vintage. What's going on? You could use Kurt's Card Carol over the front, right? Spray polish, whatever, would be fine. But then you flip it over to the back and you're going to see that there's a big nail dent right there, right? So it's not like spray or polish is going to do anything to a nail dent. The corner tool, you'd think, all right, maybe I can start massaging it gently. Maybe we'll start to loosen up, raise it up, a little humidity, all the above. But I'm going to stress to you guys, like, you don't want to smash that thing, all the card around it to hide it. You want to bring it up. So back to humidity. I promise you guys this will be a good video. You might need to watch it twice because there's going to be a lot going on. But I promise it will help you. Here's the science. I love the humidor. I love using even a straw because, check this out. Moist air weighs less than dry air. Moist air weighs less than dry air. So what does that mean? Moist air rises, right? So that's why I put things with dings and dents in the humidor, because it will raise up, So like, there's no clean way to get this out. I can't push it through the other side. It's just like, it's either permanent or I can try to, get crafty and use a little science with it. So with that said, moist air is lighter than dry air and it will rise up. That helps, okay? So that's why the humidor is a cool thing. Earlier when I posted that I'm also going to, in combination with cleaning spray, I had guys message me and be like, well, what the heck, man? You told us not to put cleaning spray on paper cards or vintage cards. You can. I mean, I just want you to practice with the base card first. You're probably not going to hurt any card by hitting it with a little bit of, spray and wiping it real quick. But the challenge is when you get to cards like this one that are, 42 years old and they're paper, you could give the front a quick wipe, but the back is just going to be a sponge. You can't put sprays or polishes or anything like that. You're just going to soak it. It's not going to do anything. But you're going to see that, and I'll put this in better light, that I got another big dent right there. And it's like, all right, how do I get that out? So back to everything I said about the humidor. It works great to get that. It almost creates its own like ecosystem, right? You'll put the card at the bottom and you'll have the moist air in there and it'll keep rising, and it's almost like its own little atmosphere. But here's the thing. You don't want to leave a card in there for a day. Whether it's a modern card like this, this is probably 2-ply, meaning that there's probably 2 pieces of cardboard cut right down the middle, the patch is shoved in, they glue it together. You don't want something like this peeling apart on you. I mean, think if it's a National Treasures or something like that, you got to be careful. And then even if you have, like, say, I know this is just like a Darth Vader, but what if it was a 54 Willie Mays, You don't want it to be sitting in a humidor all day because it's going to taco on you. It's going to curl. So you want the the good stuff, you want the good atmosphere, but you might need a little bit of an accelerant. So here's what you do. Number one, I practice what I preach. Practice on your base cards, all right? So there's an abundance of base cards. I'm sure we all have way more crappy cards than good cards, right? So practice first. But like, so for this Elvis that we did the other night, he had a bunch of indents in his, it was in his hair. That corner had a big like line going through it, just blemishes. So I put it in the humidor by itself for a half hour. It really didn't do much. So that's when, you know, behind the scenes, you guys, I've been doing a little bit more of like experimenting, because I really want to have like some solid stuff for the vintage collectors. And here's what, you know, I've been doing. I've been getting my card spray. Guys, this is a blend that is clean. It is not going to leave stains, and it dries faster than water. All right, so it's a clean blend. Everything I'm going to show you tonight, don't use water. Don't use straight up water on your cards ever. It could be hard water, soft water. Different parts of the country have different water, hard minerals, stuff like that. So water can ruin cardboard faster than anything else. All right, so everything I'm showing you guys is just right here. So this stuff is awesome, right, at cleaning modern era cards and getting ink off or junk off or whatever. It's got another superpower, man. It's also going to work as an accelerant to get dings and dents out of modern era paper cards to vintage paper cards. All right, so let me show you how we do this. I'm going to give a quick demo right here, then we're going to flip it around, and I'm going to do the TJ Hawkinson, and then we'll do the Darth Vader. And then I'll, you know, post results, because it probably takes me a day or so, all right? But harness your patience and get your practice reps in, you guys, and this will be a game changer for you. So the way I did Elvis here was I just got my spray, sprayed a little bit on the cotton, and I gently dabbed his hair just a little bit where the blemishes were. Just got it a little moist. Then put it in the humidor. Since moist air rises and this stuff evaporates, it's going to pull the card up with it. It's going to lift it up. And you don't have to do any sort of, no, remember the days where you have to put a card, you know, like, I don't know if you guys were like me when you were a kid, but you get a screw case and you had a card with a divot or something, you screw that damn screw case till it broke, trying to smash it. Like, I guess all that stuff helped me kind of get more creative, but like, don't bother with anything like that anymore. You don't want to smash your cards. You want to like love them, you know, respect them, get them back to shape, and use some atmosphere, because it's really, it's simple, you guys. It doesn't take a special touch. It just takes sitting down and doing it. All right, so that's how I got the Elvis picture. I posted it today, so if you want to see the before and afters, it's really good. And that was only 2 days of work, maybe 2.5 days of work. All right, so I'm gonna keep going on this one. I want to get it perfect. So I got some cool stuff coming up this week that we'll do this technique on. I like it how it says Bob Clemente. So we got Clemente. I got some Hank Aaron stuff, some vintage stuff, and we'll do the backs of like modern era stuff, like Kabooms, RPAs, any patch card. So let me do this, you guys. I'm gonna flip this around here, and I'm gonna give you a quick example. And all right, voila. Hang with me. I gotta lower my desk here. Oh, and if you guys have a raising and lowering desk, it is fantastic for card stuff. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. So up first is Darth Vader. So you can see that thing right there, right? I mean, maybe if I went from the back with the card tool, maybe, but the corner and edge tool is so awesome on the corners and edges that it does lack a little bit when it gets into the middle of the card. Okay, sometimes I might need it to tease this area up a little bit and, like, you know, just help it out along the way. But, and you see I got dents on the edge and stuff like that. So anyways, here's what I'll do. I'm just going to hit this, you guys, right here. You'll hear it. So let's I hit it 2 times, all right? So here's the thing. You don't want to soak the card. You don't want the card to be, like, saturated, because it's going to dry all wavy and wonky. That's not how you do it. So what I do is just simply get in here, kind of just lightly dab the area. And I'm dabbing. I am not rubbing, okay? Just gently dab the area, because I don't want you to lift up any sort of paint off the card. You know, these things are easy to make mistakes with. So I don't want to scrub on this thing. I'm just going to rub that area. Okay, you see how it's not soaked or anything like that? I just got a little moisture on it. And the card spray, you guys, will work as an awesome accelerant. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Darth Vader. I know I went off the screen for you guys. I'll come back. Darth Vader's in the humidor. Okay, coming back. Let's go to TJ. So if you needed like to clean up the front, it's got layers of plastic on it, man. You ain't gonna hurt this thing, do whatever. But when it comes to the back, it's like papery, you know? And you're like, oh shoot, what do I do? So even you can do this too. If you don't, like, the thing is you gotta be careful of the edges, because with moisture, I don't want to get this edge touched with wet and have it start getting puffy right there. I want to really stay right there. So just let me give you a little cheat too, if you guys want to, just like a little dropper. Okay, so what I'll do is I have a clean desk right here. I'll just get my clean dropper, pick up a little bit of drop, and then I can come in here on the TJ with the cleaning spray. See the little dot? I'm just going to leave it there. I'm just going to leave it there for like, I don't know, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I don't want it to, even though the back of this card is, you know, you hear me saying paper, it still has a little bit of a protective coat on it. So now look at, I got a cotton. I don't want to leave that on there. I just want to dry it off. But I know I got that area a little bit moist now. So now, well, let's remember it like that. Got a little bit of, you know, the card spray on there, you guys. And then we're going to put this one in the humidor as well. So these are going to probably take multiple sessions, but that's fine. That's what it takes, all right? So I'm going to pick this back up, you guys. My desk is what I'm referencing. And I'll come back to you here. So that technique right there, you guys, took me, I don't know, more time to explain than actually do. But it makes perfect sense, you know, when it comes to having just that rich, moisture-rich area that the humidor will make. The moist air will rise up. It will pick up these dings and dents. And you don't have to be, again, smashing cards, or I don't want you to soak the thing. I've seen all kinds of techniques, you guys. I've been into card repair and stuff like this forever. So remember, I'm not saying I got it all figured out, or I'm, you know this better than anybody else. All I'm saying is, you guys, these techniques are tested. I do this all the time, and it works well as long as you practice and are comfortable with it, all right? So that is the story behind this. And it's the story behind, a handful of other vintage cards I work on, is just using the card spray as a little bit of an accelerant. Again, damp, not soaked, just a touch on there. Put it in the humidor. I'm going to keep that in there for about 35 minutes, and then I'm going to check on it. And ideally, I'd like to have this done with like in 2 sessions, because I just don't want the cards to be moving around a lot. I want to get that dent up and get my cards looking as good as possible. And that's what I do. So thank you guys for always watching and for the questions and for the support. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care. See you guys later.